you want to be healthier, yet you just don't know what to do? All these shows telling you this and that, but nothing seems to work. Well, listen close. Golden State Media Concepts has got something great for you. The Health and Wellness Podcast dedicated to workout trends, healthy eating habits, diet, and everything about healthy living. Join us in our banters as we help you not just live life to the fullest, but live it to the healthiest.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for listening to the GSMC Health and Wellness Podcast. I'm Mariano.
I'm Pauline. And I'm Rosario.
And today we are going to be talking about something that doesn't really bother me because I eat pretty much everything. Food, when is it actually expired? Because a lot of times those expiration dates aren't accurate. And I get it, it's for safety, but you can squeeze out a few extra days or, decades out of them, whatever.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Well, I can't eat something if it's expired even on the day that I plan to eat it. I cannot eat it if it says it's expired by this day. I can't. I feel gross. Like I feel like there's moldy stuff in it. And
I just feel like I'm eating dirtiness.
Yeah.
What if you like eating dirtiness though?
But there are some, because I know that some people, like if there's like moldy bread, like sliced bread, people just like take off the slice that's like moldy. And like if the rest, like I get it, I don't really have that problem. I'll just feed it to my nephew.
Like I'll do that, but that's a different story. We're talking about like if there's mold in bread, that's one thing. But if there's milk that smells and tastes just fine, except the expiration date was like yesterday, it could be just fine. It's just the expiration date.
Yeah, and there is a little bit of a difference. There's with some labels, there's an expired by, there's a used by date,
which
and there's
so confusing.
Yeah, and then there's also like fresh before, like where it's like guaranteed fresh before a certain date,
right?
And then anytime after that, it may still be like okay.
It's like that song, play at your own
but
risk.
But they're just guaranteeing it by a certain time, depending on whatever it is that is that food item, but then that you can maybe stretch it out a day or two if it looks all right.
Yeah, I gauge it. Like I just does it smell good? Does it taste good? Then it's probably good. And like I never get I never have like food problems. Like I never get food poisoning or
I know. Well, my mother and my grandmother.
I was gonna say my grandma.
Told me, it was like okay. I would complain. I was like, no, I don't want to eat it. It's expired. It's like,
and they'd be like, cómetelo, como que you don't want to eat it.
Cómetelo, it's good. Did I poison you? Have you ever died? Yeah. No. Okay, eat it. It's food. Don't waste it.
Right.
And I think that they're not wrong though. Like, they're right. You are not dead. Like,
I'm not dead. And I never got sick. So
yeah. And like even water has an expiration date, but with water, see, that's the thing. It's not necessarily the water.
It's the bottle.
It's the bottle. It's the plastic or whatever that it's in.
They'll start releasing.
Yeah, so it's mostly for things like that. So it could be the packaging. I know that if you like freeze a lot of things, they can last in the freezer a lot longer.
Oh, yeah.
So, that's another way to kind of like extend it. And in our family, things don't really go bad just because
you eat it too fast.
I have a lot of younger brothers. I have 2 younger brothers, but I say a lot just because we have like close friends that are like my brothers that are always at our house. And we have like this thing, like my mom and I especially, if we see it and we want it, even if we don't want it right then, I'll like take it and I'll like hide it because it will not be there later on because they will eat all of it. So like a lot of things in our house doesn't really get a chance to go bad because
that's good.
Yeah. Especially when my brothers are like home from college and things like that. Oh no, you're not like, you need to take it now, even if you think that you may perhaps want it tomorrow, because it will not be there.
That's hilarious.
So that's something that, like, in our family, but my dad's kind of like the same way. If it looks aight, smells aight,
then it's all right. Because
grill it up.
Before there were like expiration dates, there were just kind of the human gauge. Like, does this seem edible to me? That's the way I go by.
Well, a lot of people so like you were talking about like a moldy cheese. Let's think about that. So you take off the piece that is moldy. Well, the whole cheese is mold.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
The whole cheese is mold.
I was like, isn't cheese mold?
When it's like green and it's fuzzy and it looks just really gross.
So really, it's just extra cheese.
I guess so. They take off that part and eat the rest. But what people don't know is that mold releases toxic spores,
and
spores.
Stuff.
I said spurs. Spores, which could affect the rest of the product. So it's actually bad, but people will still eat it.
Well,
right.
But no one has gotten sick from it. So.
And I think it has a lot to do with storage, food storage, because things can go bad quicker
if you don't store
especially
it
during the summertime, right now.
Oh yeah,
it's hot, and so a lot of things should, even if you could normally leave it on the counter or just leave it in the pantry or whatever, some things do need to start getting put into the refrigerator, just because of the heat and how hot it is. And so that's another way that you can kind of not necessarily just extend it past the expiration date, but keep it fresh and
longer.
Longer and as long as that expiration date. And that does help with fruits. A lot of things you need to keep those in the refrigerator. But one thing that I've learned with fruits, it's kind of like a trick. So if you have apples or peaches, whatever, I love nectarines.
Is it the brown paper bag trick?
The brown paper bag trick. It'll help. That? So if you put them in a brown paper bag, so it's sealed and you roll it, so it's the top is sealed down. So they release
they release natural toxins
gases and stuff.
Exactly.
And so when you have it in that enclosed space, it ripens them quicker.
Yep.
Because of those gases are just getting contained in one area. So that's one way. If you have a bunch of hard peaches or nectarines.
The only thing I used to do with bananas, I used to wrap it in newspaper. So kind of the same concept.
The same idea. The exact same idea.
It incubates them, which it works really well. Which is why, for those of you who don't know, that's why women decided to start having babies inside of them a few short decades ago. Because before then, when you were growing them on the outside, they wouldn't last as long.
But that is one way, that you can do it. But then the flip side is that now, since it is hotter and things like that, you kind of take them out. A lot of things you shouldn't keep enclosed in bags and things.
Can I just add one thing to what we were saying before this with the mold? If I find something that's maybe not moldy, but somewhat, for some reason it's a little weird, the spores, sure, but don't they die when you cook it? You see, because, let's say I make some chicken and then 4 or 5 days later no one's eating it and it's starting to get a little nasty looking. We'll still make it into something where it's going to be cooked again, like a soup, like a caldo, But it's reboiled, so isn't it, kind of...
I don't know. I think it's a little bit more dangerous with meat.
Especially with meat.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if it starts to get a little gray...
it's not getting a little gray, it's just getting a little, old. You know what I mean? How it's not bad, but just, it's not as,
Been in the fridge for
exactly
2-3 days?
Yeah, 2-3 days.
I think if it's in the fridge...
I think
you can kind of push it.
Yeah.
But my point is, in anything, if you're going to recook it, that makes it a little safer in my mind, at least.
Yeah.
So, I mean, definitely, if you're going to try something, of course, always consult your doctor, your nutritionist, and whatever they kind of suggest for you to do is always, of course, the best thing. But then, I mean, just listening to us talk about it, everybody does it.
Yeah.
I know, right?
That's what I'm saying.
We kind of push the limit with everything.
People do push the limit.
I feel I really push the limit sometimes, but also, too, it's gauge it for yourself, because in reality, definitely talk to your doctor, but are you going to every time you're unsure? So it's
well, if you have certain dietary concerns,
of course,
don't push it. It's not worth it.
Yeah, find out the information first, but also gauge it. If you're not comfortable for whatever reason, then just don't do it.
And depending on where you live too, because if you live in a place that's always hot, my grandmother, she lives in Hawaii. So even when she comes to visit us here in California, she is she puts everything in the refrigerator, things that you do not need to put in the fridge. She's like, no, put it in there.
The
put
children,
it in there.
the grandchildren.
because in Hawaii you don't leave things out because it is so humid and it is so hot
bugs
all the time. There's a lot of bugs.
I could see that.
And things just spoil faster. So everything you put... Either she has a really cute small apartment and it's as big as a studio. I'm not kidding, but she has 2 full size refrigerators because she puts everything jelly, all types of condiments, like everything goes in the refrigerator. So it's just one of those things. The only thing that's really not in there is like uncooked rice. Is basically, but she has that all sealed up in like one of those like snap containers because like how you said, like bugs and stuff because it's so hot. So it kind of just depends on what your, like, I guess
you feel is okay
the safest.
Safe.
Yeah, and you should always at least microwave it.
Yeah.
And like heat it up.
That's another thing too. If I'm unsure about it, I'll heat it up a lot longer. Because again, in my mind,
kill it.
Yeah, exactly. In my mind, the extra heat will be sure to kill whatever bacteria is in there.
So I guess
could be,
or at least.
So far so good. Mariano's doing fine.
Or at least let it know I mean business.
So we're going to cut to a break. And when we come back, we're going to discuss how moods can be affected by the colors around us and how colors can help with our moods and things like that. So we'll be right back after this short break.
Tired of searching the vast jungle of podcasts? Now listen close and hear this out. There's a podcast network that covers just about everything that you've been searching. The Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network is here. Nothing less than a podcast bliss with endless hours of podcast coverage. From news, sports, music, fashion, cooking, entertainment, fantasy, football, and so much more. So stop lurking around and go straight out to the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. Guaranteed to fill that podcast itch. Whatever it may be. Visit us at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and download us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play.
And we're back.
Welcome back.
Hello.
Hey.
Go ahead.
So we have a few like real tips to give you before we talked about a little bit with what our opinion was on foods being expired or reaching that expiration date. But there are some
helpful tips to make you. There are some helpful tips that
Keep
I can give you.
Keep your food habits safer. There you go.
So according to experts, most expiration dates on food cans range from 1 to 4 years. But after expiration date on the can, it says if you keep it in a dark, cool place, depending on how you store it, you can still eat your canned goods up to 3 to 6 years later.
Wow.
Yeah, and frozen foods, much like canned foods, are expiration proof, an exception for meat. If you're depending on the meat, you can still eat the meat up to a year later and it still be safe. Eggs, here's a cool little tip. Put the egg, to test the freshness, you put the egg in a cup of water. If it floats, that means it's bad. It's released toxins inside the egg and gases, so it'll make the egg float, so you'll want to eat the eggs that sink to the bottom because those are the freshest. Pasta is good. It's dry, depending on how you store it. It could last a very long time. And again, with fruits and vegetables, you just kind of have to gauge it like Mariano has said before.
My extremely, well thought out and articulate.
You will smell it.
Yeah, I like smell
it.
Exactly. I talk to it. If it's angry, then I leave it. No, it's like, I don't know. It's like the eyeball test too. Like if it's bruised and, my like elitist brain can't allow me to eat like anything but the most perfect looking vegetables.
So those are some like tips and tricks to kind of give you kind of like a gauge of what you can still attempt to eat past like the expiration date or the best by date. And it does again like have a lot of those have to do with like the storing and like the way that it's being stored. So like the packaging of canned foods and like freezing it and things like that. Of course, meat is always different when it comes to anything really. Yeah. The way that you store it is different. The way that you cook meat is different. So that's something to just be cautious of at all times. So if you have like a freezer, I guess, and you can pretty much freeze anything. You can freeze bread. You can freeze anything.
I've seen people freeze their bread.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. We freeze bread. My mom freezes bread in like because it only pulls it out when my brothers come home from college, because that's when we really need it. So that's something that we do. So another thing that we wanted to discuss too was how colors can affect our moods. And a lot of that's kind of been around for a little while, as far as like the things like around us affect us and our moods. Like your environment does, and colors do too. And colors, visually, what we see, like when people
it's like power of persuasion,
right?
Yeah,
like what you're wearing, what's around you, like the things, just pamphlets and brochures that are given out are a lot of time, like there are actual experts, and like it's their job, like marketing people, it's their job to develop the color schemes for products and for promotions and things like that. McDonald's is purposely red and yellow because those colors make us hungry. So those,
oh really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I
don't
know that.
And so
there's a psychological
but I didn't know that
thing
that's
behind all colors.
I didn't know that that's why McDonald's is red and yellow though.
Yeah,
and that's why a lot of like
say,
restaurants are like red and things like that, like Jack in the Box, Wendy's, Carl's Jr.
Yeah.
Like it's like literally your mind playing tricks on you.
Do you guys notice that maroon is like a luxury color?
Yes.
Like a deep crimson type red?
Yeah. It's kind of and like before, certain colors were like a long time ago, colors were when people like handmade clothes and handmade dyes, things deep colors like maroon, like you were saying, and violets and purples were for like royalty, and like because that has to do a lot with it too.
Right, exactly. Well, again, it's persuasion. It's what we know. Like if me and you know that maroon used to be used for royalty, then we see something maroon and we're like, oh, that must be luxurious.
Yes.
I think of black as like tactical. Like I have a black watch on right now, and if I'm wearing like, I have e-collars for my dogs, and their little remote is yellow.
Right.
But there's a tactical version, and that's how they promote it, and it's all black, and it's to me it's cool. It's like stealthy.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, well, I love wearing black. Black has always been like my go-to color. It wasn't until recently,
ever since the Ninja Academy.
Yeah, I guess so. That I started exploring more with colors, and it was my mom who made me change my mentality on black, because I love everything black. All of my the clothes in my closet were all black. She's like, "Are you emo? Like, what's going on? You're always wearing black." I was like, "Yeah, I feel powerful in black." I think it depends on what it means to you.
Yeah.
Because black for some people comes off as aggressive or sad. Really? Yeah.
And like one color that people, and this, because black it can seem kind of like strong, which I think is like a good thing. But like when I was doing some research on different colors, and like especially how you were saying, like when it comes to clothes and things like that, it's been like through research, it's been found like women like it when men wear like dark blue.
Yes.
Because it makes you seem stable, it makes you seem like strong and like confident, and like that's something that we're drawn to, like in a man. So like if you are like doing business, or if you're on a date and things like that, you tend to trust him, or take his opinion seriously, because he looks more confident, stable, and whether he is or not.
Yeah, and I mean, blue is a very
Why'd you look at me when you said that?
Color. Well, you're actually wearing blue right
exactly,
now. Exactly,
because I'm confident, stable. What up? But I wonder why, though. Like, what interests me is like, why do we? Is it because the sky is blue? Is it because like what else is stable and blue? Yeah. Like water, the ocean. It's.
But I think that people associate blue with the sky a lot because it's a feel-good color. Yeah. It's calming.
And green, yeah.
Yes. Green is actually a color they said you should wear at the gym when you're working out, because it sends good energy. Yeah, so they said wear green. It gives you more energy. You'll feel better, and it'll make you want to work out a little bit more. Like you'll push yourself a little bit more.
I'm going to have to try that.
Green. Yeah.
And they were saying for women, especially on first dates or like dates when you're trying to impress someone, is red. And that's just something that I guess turns guys on.
Red just pops, yeah.
Yeah.
Like
and it makes you feel confident.
It's like a passionate
you know what it is?
color.
Well, you know what it is for me, coming from a guy's perspective? It's not so much, I don't think it's a subliminal thing. I think it's just like if a girl is confident enough to wear something that's like really red and pops out, it shows confidence.
Oh,
so I like that.
I'm gonna have like mental notes.
So wear red if you want to
look
show
confident.
confidence. Yes.
And so, and my room is painted yellow. I think I might have shared that before on an episode before. That my room is yellow, and
yellow is happiness.
I originally wanted to paint my room like a dark color, just because like I just wanted everything like in my room to just be dark. So like when I come in there, I just fall asleep and things like that.
Your layer.
And it was just kind of like a cave.
That's how I do it.
Yeah. And my mom was like, no, do something bright and things. Cause she would, in her, the way that she was explaining to me was that like in the morning when you wake up, you want it to be bright and like just looks like happy in here. So that's the first thing that you see as you wake up.
Yeah.
And, it just makes the room like open. It just seems like more open. And so my room is kind of like a yellowish color. It's a light yellow. And it is, I mean, it's nice. My sheets and everything else are black. So, I mean, it was a good compromise.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to do, again, something like I wanted to do gray. I love grays. I love black. That's what I felt comfortable in.
Right.
But you just don't know how you're coming off to other people, I guess, because I did get a lot of feedback. Was like, oh, you look happier in yellow. You look great in blue. You look so much more pleasant. I feel like I can
more
approach
approachable.
you. Yeah. But that was not the case when I was wearing darker colors, and that's really crazy to me.
I like wearing, I feel like I look good in dark red, dark blue, and black.
So all the colors.
So it does, you know, play, because it plays off. I think it makes you feel a certain way when you're wearing certain colors. So how you project yourself and how you act is different. Like how we were saying, you may feel more confident.
I guess it's true though, because why do we know to like wear black to a funeral? Like, I think there is something to be said about, you ever go somewhere and you're like, nah, I'm not going to wear this color. I'm going to wear something more this color.
Yeah.
So
to fit the situation.
Right.
And what's going on. So there is some truth to that, and like how colors can affect your mood and how people
perceive you.
Yeah. And how approachable you may or may not want to be.
Exactly.
So we're going to cut it to a break real quickly, and then when we come back, we're going to discuss how to be more of a morning person.
No.
And
It's like, no.
and how to help you with your morning routine. So we'll be right back.
Want to find out what movies to go see? Then check out the GSMC Movie Podcast. It's your ticket to the latest movies, whether it's a new blockbuster event, romantic, comedy, or action flick. This show has got it all covered. They talk some what to go see now. Don't bother. What's hot on Netflix and everything in between. That's GSMCpodcast.com/movie-podcast. When it's all about the movies, it has to be this new show. Don't forget to like them on Facebook and follow them on Twitter. Visit GSMCpodcast.com for more info.
So we are back after that short break. So far this podcast, we've discussed how colors can affect our mood and how we perceive one another, and also about foods and like when or when not to throw them away, depending on how you feel and what the date is. But another thing that's been kind of like difficult, I feel like, for everyone in a way. I mean, there are people that are just morning people.
They're naturally morning people.
And they don't mind waking up, and they're quick.
But for most of us, it can be a struggle.
It is.
I know it is for me.
Especially some people, because I think I'm a morning person as far as like whatever time I set my alarm, I can wake up at that time and get ready and get to go. But lately I have not been, because I've been going to sleep so late. And so I've been at the beginning of the week, it was fine. But like, for instance, this morning, it was just really difficult. And I was like dragging this morning, and I hit the snooze button quite a few times, and I rushed out to come to work today. But there are a few things that you can do that will help you become more of a morning person. Yeah. And to make your mornings a little bit more smooth. One suggestion that we have is that don't take your naps too late in the day. And not many of us have time to nap. If you're fortunate enough to have time to nap, lucky you, really. But sometimes, I mean, when I was in school, I used to take naps, and I would like plan my class schedule to allow me to take naps like in the middle of the day before starting the second half of my day.
People always recommend that you do that.
Yeah, I just
That's crazy. Naps were not allowed in my household.
No, they weren't at my house either. So I was like, now that I'm away,
I would hide.
I'm taking my nap. Like, you know, like I'm gonna get my naps in. And when I was in school, I did like, you know, like when you're in college and things, like you're always busy, whether it's working, internships, class, projects, all of that. And so I would purposely make my schedule so like I would have enough time to run to and I lived on campus, so that made it a little bit easier, but able to go home and get in like a good 45-minute nap, eat something, and then start the second half of my day. But now that I've come back and I've started like working and having like a different schedule where I can't take that break in the middle of the day, when I get home like after like 6:37, I fall asleep, and that's really been a habit I'm trying to break, because I feel like, oh, I need a nap. I haven't had a nap today. But then I'll sleep to like 8:39, and then I'm ready to go, and then I don't go to sleep till late now because I'm awake.
Gotcha.
And things like that. And so that's one thing that will help you be more of a morning person, is if you don't take naps so late in the day. It's actually suggested that you take a nap before 11:30.
Oh.
In the
a.m.?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Because then that way...
What if you don't wake up till like 10?
See, that's the thing.
Well, that's the thing. If you're a morning person, then
you're up early,
to...
and then you take that quick nap before the second half of the day. Because once you get past that afternoon stage, then you're groggy the rest of the day, because you haven't, you know, especially if you're only taking like a 45-minute nap, then you can be a little bit groggy the rest of the day. And then, of course, if you take a nap like after work, for me, like after 5:36, and you sleep late, then you're just ping, ping, ping all night long, you know, and there's so much to do all night, and you can't fall asleep again till like 2-3 o'clock in the morning, and you got to be up. So,
yeah. Well, I've always had a problem going to sleep in the first place.
Me too.
I'm always up. You know, I feel like all of my energy is at night.
Me too.
I want to do stuff. I want to... I don't know. I go crazy at night. I feel more creative at night. I feel my mind is restless. I try to lay my head on the pillow, and my mind is going 100 miles per hour, you know, thinking of everything, things I gotta do. So, I don't know. I've always had a problem going to sleep, and so then I can't, I'm not a morning person. I feel like I just want to sleep in. Oh. And so even if I make the conscious decision to wake up early, I still won't go to sleep earlier. Because I can't, I'm so tired during the day, and I still cannot go to sleep at night.
Are you like thinking about a lot of things that need to be done?
Yes, that's the problem. And I try to meditate in the morning, to do things like prepare myself for the day. But I don't know, if I felt like I've always had a struggle just falling asleep, period, no matter what time of the day. Even if I try to take a nap, I can't.
For me, like melatonin pills don't even work.
Exactly, me too. And I've never tried sleeping pills because I'm so scared.
Right. Of what?
I don't know. I feel like they're going to make me feel more tired, or maybe it's just not going to work for me. But this is the thing about me. I hate any type of medicine.
Okay.
Me too, actually. I'm the same way.
I try to not take anything. I was like, I can naturally take care of this, you guys. And until I feel like, okay, I feel defeated, I'm going to take it. Yeah.
Have you tried drinking tea?
I've tried everything. I've tried tea. I've tried warm milk. I've tried the melatonin pills.
Well, let me just say that, like, I don't like taking medicine either, but and the grogginess, it does make you a little groggy the next day. But let's say, like, if you know you have like a couple days off coming up, that first night I will take one and I'll sleep, and all day next day just to catch up.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I see what you're saying. And some people suggest like journaling before you go to sleep, to kind of like, if they're for some people, one reason why they can't go to sleep at night is because they're thinking about like to-do lists, like I have to do this next, I have to do this tomorrow, like preparing for the next day. So some people suggest actually like jotting it down and actually like getting it out of your head in a way and onto the paper, because then you won't forget it, because like sometimes I do that. I'm like, don't forget tomorrow, you have to do this in the morning, just don't forget that type of a thing. And so some people suggest like jotting it down, like having just like a piece of paper, or like for some of us, like if you have your phone near your bed, then just putting it as a note or texting it to yourself, whatever it is that you do. So like you can just get it literally out of your mind. And that's one thing that some people suggest to do. Some of the other things that you guys were discussing, the tea, milk, or just like having
reading
time.
Meditation does work.
Meditation,
You know what's
and
cool
turn
too?
off all electronics,
Yeah.
no TV, no phone, because it's actually scientifically proven that
It
the light
stimulates you.
on the TV or phone just
Well,
wakes
actually,
you up.
I need noise, so I do TV, but I turn away from it, so I don't see
Oh,
it. Like,
okay.
you know, but one cool thing too, because I journal, and you don't need to do it before bed. Like if you just do it that day, your
While
brain,
you're thinking about it.
yeah, like your brain feels kind of better put together for the rest of the day.
Oh,
I've
okay.
noticed.
Yeah. And so that's one thing. Or if you're kind of, because I know that I do this a lot, is that I always put a lot of stuff off till tomorrow morning. I'm like,
Procrastinator.
it's
No, I
really,
can't.
yeah, you know, like I'm like, it's really not that big of a deal. Like if I have to, like I just did this last night where I had to, put some, like I have to mail some things out. And so I literally was like, okay, before I leave to come to work, I was like, don't forget to stamp everything and things like that. And so I really was, it's just stamps, but I was thinking, cause I didn't want to forget. And I was like, don't forget to grab the stamps because I have to mail it out today. And so I was like, concentrating on that deep into the night because I was like, don't forget these stamps. And so another suggestion to help you be a morning person is to just do it before you go to sleep.
Yeah.
Like I should have just put the stamps on the envelopes, threw it in my bag, and I wouldn't have to worry about that.
Yeah,
Or
it's one thing less to worry about in the morning.
Preparing your lunch, if you take lunch to work, which is fine, is actually just like packing it up and having it in the refrigerator ready to go already. If there's like, if you need to set out your clothes, that can sometimes help people because it's one less thing. You already know what you're going to wear. You already know what you're going to eat. You don't have to like, it takes away some of that stress and anxiety through the morning when you're in a rush, especially if you have like children and things like that. Then sometimes getting their food, like if they're school-aged kids, then getting their lunches packed and ready to go the night before, getting their clothes out, so that it's just one less thing that you really have to rush and worry about because there's always something chaotic happening in the morning, no matter how much you try to like mellow it out. Something like, you know, something you get a phone call from work, you get an email that has to be addressed or whatever. Somebody's sick, you wake up and you're just, yeah, there's a lot of things that just naturally are going to be a problem in the morning. So those are just some tips to kind of like help you be a little bit of a morning person and to relieve some of that added stress that everyone just you just have to deal with in the morning.
Yeah. Well, another thing that recently someone told me that I could do is take showers in the morning.
Problem is, that's a good one.
I absolutely hate like taking a full shower in the morning because that's what I do at night. You know, there's people that shower at night and people that shower in the morning.
Yeah.
I am a person that showers at night because I feel good. Okay, I was like, this is going to relax me.
Yeah.
So that's one of the steps I do to help me fall asleep. So when I take a shower in the morning and, you know, I'm in there, I'm like, okay, I'm ready for bed. Like that didn't wake me up. That did not work for me. But maybe for some people.
Yeah, it might wake them up. I take showers both at night and in the morning because it helps me to relax at night. And I feel like I'm not like dirty. And then in the morning, I like take another shower because I'm like, okay, you need to wake up, like get it going.
Yeah.
So some people
use the shower in the morning because some people argue, it's like, oh, okay, why would you take your shower at night? I was like, why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you? Exactly.
So I feel like you're dirty
going to
throughout
sleep. How dirty are you going to get while you're sleeping? I mean, unless you're sweating, then yes, take a shower in the morning.
Right.
But I feel like there's no need.
So, so those are some things too. You can try that shower. And so this is going to be it for this episode of the Health and Wellness Podcast. I'm one of your co-hosts, Pauline.
Mariano.
And Rosario.
Don't forget that you can listen to us at gsmcpodcast.com. You can download us at iTunes, Google Play, and SoundCloud to listen to any of our episodes, past, present, some of our new ones in the future.
Which, by the time you listen to this, it may have happened already, so stay tuned.
Ooh, it's like Podception.
Try it.
So So we will talk to you guys soon. Have a good day, good weekend, all that jazz. Have a good morning.
Great. Bye.